Welcome to the Purity Pulse podcast, your go-to podcast for the natural health industry and everything Purity Life. I'm Erin Macklin.
And I'm Julie Drapeau.
Today we're going to speak with Erin Skelton, President and CEO of the CHFA. So that's going to be a great interview.
Absolutely.
We'll do our regular weekly check-ins and we'll do some new to Purity Life as well. So, what's up, Julie? You're getting prepared for a little something big, I think?
A big trip. I love traveling. It is for work. We're going to India. So
that's a big, different one. That's not your standard Montreal or Vancouver or LA.
No. So people ask me, are you excited? And I'm like, I'm kind of in between because I'm super excited because it's something new. Food should be very good. And on the other side, I'm like, oh, but I hear a lot of people saying they've been and they experienced some, tummy experiences.
Yeah. It's funny because I've heard you speaking about this. And what I keep hearing too is everybody's response is like, good. So be careful of, like it's always tapered with that, right?
It's exactly what I get. It's, oh, great. But bring activated charcoal. Make sure you take a lot of probiotics before you go. And it's not because the food is bad. We're not used to that type of, bacteria or whatever, So that is definitely in my mind. And I've already started to prepare my little suitcase of some protein powder on the side and some oatmeal sachets and the
if all else
charcoal.
fails, here's all of the food that will get us through these 10 days you're gone for?
About
like
10
that?
days. And it's 15 hours straight to go and 15 hours to
That's
back.
a long flight.
It is. And the funny thing with this is as soon as we come back, we have a couple of podcasts to record.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you will know live how I'm doing. And then a couple of days after that, we're going to Anaheim. So, so that's what's on
crazy.
my list. But what about you? No India?
No. It's funny, though. It makes me think about, obviously you travel a lot. I travel enough. And do you have any sort of, favorite travel go-tos?
Absolutely. I always travel with my BioSteel sachet.
Yeah.
So before I get on the plane, I always buy my 2 big liters of water, or even 4 sometimes, depending on the length of the trip.
15 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 6.
And while they provide water, they just give you a little bit, and it's on their terms. So I don't like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I want my water when I want it. So I prepare my sachet in my bottle before the plane. So people are looking at me while I was sitting and what are you doing? So I love that.
Yeah.
Easy to travel with. I also bring sachets of protein powder, or even put my own little bags that I prepare from brands that we have. I have a couple of protein bars as well that I carry. So I want to make sure that I have my protein, because when you travel, you realize that proteins are hard to find, or they're very expensive. Yeah. You can get carbs everywhere, but not protein. Yeah. So I always make sure that I have my water, my hydration, and that. And I also like to carry either Beekeeper, the throat spray.
Oh, yeah, we had talked about that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or the St. Francis as well. Yes.
What about stuff? See, I find when I get to traveling more often, I start thinking about how I want to organize my stuff. And I've discovered that I have a passion for cases. So
you have beautiful ones. I always look at it. It's like, great idea.
Even packing cubes. Do you use packing cubes at all? No. You ever use packing cubes? Have you heard of this?
No.
You don't even know the packing cubes, Grace.
No.
So
you're the queen of that.
It's actually fairly common. You can get tons of different kinds now. But packing cubes, they're essentially just smaller bags, usually in a cube format, that you can pack certain things that you're packing with. I'm trying to think of how to explain
like
this.
Food or
no, it's not so much that. It's like for instance, for me, I have my largest one is usually packed with, okay, those are going to be my work business wear, my nicer stuff. And then I have another one. This is my casual, my tights, your gym wear, your sweaters, all that kind of stuff. And I've got a nice smaller one that holds like unmentionables and whatnot. And it keeps your suitcase way more organized. It's a lot easier to pack.
Oh, so I see. It's like small.
They're smaller
bags that goes into your suitcase and organize everything.
Yeah, it just makes it a lot easier. You would actually really benefit from it because it helps you also fit everything into your suitcase, which I know that sometimes you have an issue with. Because I feel like I've seen a picture of you sitting on a suitcase trying to zip it up before.
I never do that. No, always. Yeah, we're very different, as you know, Erin and I. So if you are the organized type, this is a fantastic idea.
The thing is, this is why I'm saying, like, I think I have a case issue because it doesn't stop there. Like I now have my travel
you have a stigma
makeup organizer that, unfolds and folds down. And then I got a case that wraps up to put your like necklaces and all that kind of stuff into. So that's all nice.
I see that when you come here, actually.
Yes, so it travels with me here too.
Yes.
And then just the other day I was on Amazon and I found a nice just a small organizer, probably like smaller than a book, just for your electronics. So I can put my little charger in there and I can put the cube for the charger and a backup battery. And because often I have presentations and stuff too, this gives me somewhere to put my connectors and my HDMI cord and all that. So I'm like, I love that. I really like that stuff.
I love that. And it's funny because with all the years of travel, I think we all have a way of either how we packed or how we're organized. And, that's not me. Like your style is fantastic. I envy it. I envy it. Great, but not for me. I like to sit on my suitcase and try to zip it at the end. Not that I like it, but that's the way I operate, right? I have my suitcase for CrossFit and workout, then I just jam-pack everything. And then I have my suits on the other side and supplements and protein powders and everything. And and then you go to a trade show, then you pick up samples and everything. And then
try and pack that all in too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
you always end up taking stuff back with you.
That's why I never travel light. I'm not a good travel light person. I always have way
Julie's
too much.
just like, I'll just take another suitcase.
Exactly.
I'm like, how do I fit this into this suitcase?
So maybe next time we'll work together on
we could do
packing.
like a combo deal. I could learn from you. You could learn from me. It'll be great.
You'll just put stuff in and zip it, and I'll see Erin's face will be like, oh my God, what are you doing with my things?
I'll come sit on your suitcase. And then when we're done, you can come and check out my packing cubes.
Next travel.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming, Erin. We're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So it's an exciting year. CHFA celebrating 60 years this year.
It is. Yeah, I feel like every year has been exciting since I joined 3.5 years ago. But any anniversary is an exciting time to celebrate. So 60 years. It's hard to believe.
That's a long time.
It is. And as the team has been reminding me often, it is the diamond anniversary. Our team is probably about 90% women. And they've been angling for that diamond aspect to the anniversary. So we'll see what happens. But it's quite the accomplishment for the association.
Amazing.
Yeah, there is a lot of change through the years, obviously. And since you took on the role as well, you've been through the beginning with COVID hitting and having to transition and all that. And so give a little bit of to the audience a little bit of the background of CHFA and its purpose, because I feel, and I've been in some committee and working with you, and I just feel that we need to hear the message clearly, because there's still people that are not yet into CHFA as a member, and it's so important. We'll talk about it throughout because the value behind it. But I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, in 60 years, it's steeped in a lot of history. And I think any organization that's been around for that long, you obviously got a lot of different iterations and changes that you go through. And I think the CHFA is no different. I mean, when it was initiated, it was really regional. It was really more sort of the vitamin shops, the small independent retailers, and a lot of the small independent manufacturers. But it was the culmination of that passion and that sort of belief in what this industry provides that I think pulled that community together and took it from sort of regional east-west pockets into this real national representation that it is today. And as I said, that evolution never really stops, I think, even from 3.5 years ago. But if you go through the 60 years, it's not just a natural health product association anymore. It really represents an entire sector. And one of the things I'm proud of, I often claim is one of our more challenging aspects, but one of the biggest benefits we really represent the whole sort of sector and not just a stakeholder within it. So it's quite unique that we've got, suppliers, brokers, distributors, retailers, supporting businesses, auxiliary to what we do on a day-to-day basis. So packaging companies, legal firms. It really is a snapshot of the entire industry. I think that's where a lot of the strength comes from. Is that it's the whole community, and it's that whole community sort of sharing that mandate that if more Canadians can get access to what we do, they'll live happier, healthier lives. And I think that really ties us all together.
We were in Australia to visit one of a copycat of Purity Life, and we were talking about the industry.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
It's our copycat, it's our friend down there. And we were talking about the association because we were talking about CHFA and what we do and how we get organized and, that event and everything that you bring to all the members, all the support. And they don't have that there.
Right.
They put on, they have to take ownership of everything. And they're like, oh my God, if we had that would be so helpful for, a little brand that is starting that needs that support. And I think since you've been on this role, you have really changed also and brought a lot more tools for the retailers and the brands and everything like that. So that's why.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I think it's one of the mandates we've given ourselves is any business that engages with the association should have a better business outcome than those that don't.
Right.
And that can look different depending on who you are. And it's really the breadth of value that we can provide. Everyone knows us for the iconic shows. But those are just part of the value that you get as being a part of the community. And I think you sort of, comment about larger players, smaller players. It's what I find really special about this industry. There's been a lot of success stories and it's great. But those successful members want to help the next sort of generation in the next round. And you really see the strengthening of this funnel of businesses that are interested in the space, believe in what they're doing, but need help and need support. And we've got a lot of successful businesses that want to, facilitate that. And I think it's really unique in this space. There's competitive natures. Absolutely. Everyone likes to sort of, have their win. But we're an industry, I think, that really believes that we have a positive impact on Canadians at large. And if you can support someone else that has that same mandate, people are in for that. And I think that's been really exciting. And so I know when I joined 3.5 years ago, that was the mandate, is how do we get more people involved? How do we get the community to grow and scale? And, I'm pleased to say we've grown membership 148%.
148%.
It's been an incredible few years. And to your point, I joined in the middle of a global pandemic on an association that, its business was predicated on getting thousands of people together in a really small room. So we had a lot of challenges.
All the opposite of
for a
what
few
COVID
years.
was.
Probably some of the hardest times for CHFA.
I think the most concerning, for sure. But it made us, we had no choice but to really look at ourselves as an organization and go, what is the value that we provide?
Our value?
And if it was simply about commerce and a show, I think it was really thin. And one of the things we really tried to work on is this community can provide significant value in a multitude of different ways. One of them being the shows. Obviously, the advocacy work that we do, ensuring that we have an environment we can all operate in is a key thing that we do. But building that community, building those networks, those relationships, the research and insights that we've leaned in on has been eye-opening for us in terms of the importance to the community and the value that we can provide there. So it's been every crisis is a good opportunity. And I think that one for us,
it's how you deal with it, right?
How you deal with it, how you react, and what does it make you learn as you go through it. And I'm proud to say, 3.5 years later, we're stronger than we were coming in.
100%.
And that's exciting.
I was looking at some data, actually, even like the attendance at the show and all the events that you've done for community in Calgary, the one in Montreal,
Calgary
those
events
evenings.
next week.
I know, it's exciting, and the number of people who participate to that. And I want to go back to the show, who was like sort of the center at the beginning. When we think about CHFA, we think about the show, and there's so much more that you've done, all those tools that you've brought, and we hear the retailers and staff and brands and everybody in the channel that are appreciating that help. And I want to point out that the show, because I hear that comment often, is and you said that in Kyle's Marsham podcast, I think last year, that it's not a buying show as it was before. That's not the full intent. And
the show
it's
itself
important.
is
I say that as a distributor to everybody that is listening. It's okay.
Yeah.
It is okay.
Yeah.
It really
more.
takes a recalibration on what you anticipate the show to be.
Yes.
And I have really direct, humble conversations with people to go, look, if your expectation is you're going to come and place, truckload orders with discounts, that's not simply the way the industry operates anymore, and really not the value or the center of value from the show.
That's right. Yeah.
Do sales happen? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But is there more value on who you meet, the relationships you build, the insights you gain, and how you sort of build out that knowledge web across the industry? And the shows really are the place where thought leaders are coming to see what's next, to share what's to discover.
And
with BC coming up in April, that's really the hub of where new innovation in this sector gets launched. And so, seeing and reframing the value of the show has been a critical part of what we've done. And I got to give a shout out to the team. I mean, both our events team and our marketing team, they've really reimagined what those shows could be.
Yes.
We've got exciting sort of DE&I initiatives that we're doing. We've got really exciting partnerships with environmental and sustainability groups. We've got our Incubator Alley.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which is grown exponentially, right?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I think a couple of years ago we had 6. And
five,
five or six of them. And now I think we're over 40.
Yes.
We kind of max out the space that we've got allocated to it. And to the point earlier, it's really that funnel that brings these new brands in. And they see the benefit of the exposure. They see the benefit of the networking. They see the benefit of the insights. It's been wonderful.
I think you're right on that exposure, right? Like it's being there. It's so important to be there and showcase yourself. And you're right. It's not the way it was years ago, where it was just you just stood there and took the orders, and that's what it was all. It was like $1 at the end of the weekend. There's so much more to it. And you're right. You've got this amazing, excellent team which has been able to build that out and showcase that value. Because I think so often, the CHFA is 60 years. So many times it almost gets taken for granted at this point what we're being offered and what we have access to, instead of really looking at it and being like, this continues to grow and change, and it's all valuable.
It's life, right? It's evolution.
And how important that is.
Well, and just about the evolution, I mean, even on the attendance side of things. So, are we hitting near record attendance numbers? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the makeup of that attendance has also shifted and changed. And so we've still got, the lifeblood of what we do, the small independent retailers, that is critical, getting them out. But we've got some of the larger mass guys that are coming out now, because there's a lot of tonnage in that space, and that's what suppliers are looking for, right?
Yes.
We've also diversified the channels. We've got, gas and convenience that's now coming to the shows. We've got Club Channel that's now coming to the show. We've got a lot of US buyers that are actually coming up to see what the next big thing is. And I think from a supplier standpoint, there's an efficiency there, right? Being able to showcase your product and put it out for discovery. And we've really created a lot of tools within the show framework to get that exposure. It's not just a product showcase where you can sort of get your product in a glass case at the front of the show. That's great. But some of the breakfasts with some of the trend spotlight, we do a lot of PR work now, which is sort of a new evolution that we've been working on, and just bringing to light some of the really cool brands, some of the fun things that they're doing, the good initiatives that they've got, and that's really exciting as an association to draw that light onto some really inspiring companies.
I have to say that all the education that is around the show, but also all year long, I mean, that was one big gap in our field, like trends, right? We need to understand what's out of our market to define, how should I get, still top of mind. And that's why it's great to see that all that investment that you've been putting to give, again, that service. And again, I sound like a broken record, but I'll say again, brands that are, starting and that they're looking at where to invest their money, it is the best place to put it, honestly, because you will provide that help, the platform for them to be seen, understood, and get that knowledge to maybe, go over some, challenges that they could have had without having that knowledge. So
I think I came to the role with a bit of a unique background, because I came from sort of a large retailer and then a startup company and a consolidator of brands. And I'd always had this feeling that like that research, that insight for the Canadian market and the Canadian consumer didn't exist. Yeah. You could extrapolate things from US data. You could take global inferences and try to relate that to the Canadian market.
Watch TikTok quite a little bit.
And you just kind of got to do your own media scraping to try to figure out what's going on. And I said, well, who better to do this than the association that is the largest representative of natural, organic, and wellness products in the country? And so we really took that on as a challenge and an opportunity. And to your point about these small brands that are just looking to get started, it's our hope that, if you're starting a brand in Canada in this space, we should be the first place you go. Not necessarily because we will have all the answers for you, but our network will be able to be the place where you can get those answers. So
be guided.
It's not about owning all elements for us. It's about being that hub and spoke to the sector. And so if we don't have that answer, well, we do have a member who does. Here's how you can get a hold of them. Let's do an introduction. And so if you want to get started, we can probably give you a pretty good blueprint for what you need to do, and then hopefully facilitate those introductions through our retail partners. So that's probably the part of the work that we do that I enjoy the most is like we've got our Launchpad event that takes place at our shows, and it's always so inspiring to see these brands that are putting it all on the line, that are really risking everything for a passion, a product that they love, and to see them get that that 15 minutes of fame on stage so they can really balloon into a real business. I mean, the winners from Toronto last year, the two from Pleasure Pods. We've stayed in touch with them. We've seen their success, and they are the perfect story of great product, great passion, didn't know what they were doing, showed up at the show, authentically going, we have no idea what we're doing. And they've been on a path of success ever since because they've built a network, people that are supporting them, the funding that they got out of the win in general. I mean, our prize package this year, I think, is up to close to $35,000 now. Wow. So very little effort from some of these small brands to get in the door with a potential huge payout at the end of it. So seeing how we can facilitate just from an idea to a success story, I mean, that gets the team out of bed every morning. It's fantastic.
And part of CHFA, we have Vancouver coming very soon. And this year it's Thursday, Friday, which is different, right? So,
it is. It's probably one of the most often asked questions after the shows. Traditionally they run, the trade component of it runs on the weekend, Saturday and Sundays. We get to trial something this year. As I said earlier, one of the benefits of the community is it's so broad. One of the challenges is that breadth. And so we know there's going to be some that it works better for, some that wish we'd still done the weekend. But we're going to trial it. And I think it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, one of the things that it allows us to do is really compress the event. So it's not running 4 days. This time it's running 3 days. And so we'll really see some efficiencies in doing that. And to the point of there's more than just the show. We've seen record attendance on our conference as well.
They're packed.
It is. It's been, well, I know you guys do your session.
Thank you.
I think you still hold the title for the most attended conference session. So congratulations on that. But it has shifted from, I think you've seen this, a shift from really product knowledge for floor staff at stores. Because technology and different ways of delivering that content have changed the need case for that.
Absolutely.
And really extrapolated into more of a thought leadership, development, business tools, insights, research presentations that we haven't been able to convey before. And so the feedback on the conference has gone up significantly. But it's just one of those somewhat unknown aspects of the show. So we're really trying to expose that so that we can get people there that day early. It's all part of the program, so it's not an incremental cost to people to attend. But there's an extreme amount of value from sitting in those sessions.
Absolutely. I think it's a good way when you go and you have that knowledge and then you get on the trade show floor after and you can look for what you've identified. You identify that, I have a gap in my mix of products here, or, certain way of doing your business on a daily. So that's how I see the show now too. It's not, I'm just placing my PO, is I'm learning and then I can see what's coming on the market and search for those brands that I've heard they were on trend. All of those key.
Well, for retailers that are attending, we've got a breakfast on both the April 4th and April 5th. So on April 4th, we've got a trends presentation. So to your point about before you even get to the show floor, here's the things that you might want to be looking out for, and some examples of that, some booth numbers on where to go to see some of those products.
Perfect.
So really a great way to kick off the show weekend if you're a retailer. And And then on the 5th, again, for retailers, we've got all the Incubator Alley guys coming in doing quick little pitches. So not the competition that Launchpad is, but if you want that, before I hit the floor, I want to know who, because retailers aren't simply invested in the product. They want to be invested in the people behind the product.
The story.
That's the industry, right?
It is. And so for an opportunity for retailers to get, that 30 seconds to hear who are the people that are bringing this product to market and who do I want to do business with? It's a really efficient way to sort of see that spectrum of Incubator Alley vendors and then make your way to the show floor after and go see them in their booth.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of real sort of guide rails that we can kind of help retailers be a little bit more efficient in how they hit the show.
Yeah.
That's definitely not to miss. And one part of the show that is super exciting too, it's the award ceremony. And we have two of our reps that are nominated in sales excellence. And but talk a little bit about that. I think it's so important that to recognize people for all their work through the year. So
I mean, said like only a past winner can say. So congratulations again on the past win. Look, the award ceremony is it's such a tremendous opportunity, for the community to get together and celebrate the work that we've all done. And it's always inspiring to see the nominations that roll in, the excitement from the community. We rolled out badges that people can use on social media for their nominations this year.
Nice.
And the usage of those badges has been so impressive.
Everywhere. I've seen it on LinkedIn, and people are really proud, and it's so exciting.
Yeah, to bring that attention, and it's an event it's often standing room only. There's a few drinks and a few appetizers, but people like to come and celebrate their peers. And so whether it's retail sales staff from the floor, whether it's people of influence or ones to watch, it's really an opportunity to shine that light on some of the special people that are doing special things in this space. So it's one of my favorite nights.
Yes, me too, I love that.
And I think judging by the nominations and the excitement around it, clearly the community appreciates it as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no, we absolutely do. We always have a full team
multiple
out there.
purity tables, from what I remember.
Pretty loud there.
Fun,
between the employees, but also the brands that
that's the thing for us. It's I mean, it's, often we have our own employees up, so we're super excited about that. But then we've got all those connections with the retailers that we want to support, that we're excited for, or other brands that we're excited for that we're distributing. So there's always that connection in that way to support other people that are in the industry. And what a great kind of venue to be able to do that.
Well, and there's such a rich history to this industry.
Yes.
And some of the more, higher profile, prestigious awards.
Yes.
I'm thinking back to probably the show in Toronto last year, I think it was, with St. Francis winning their award.
Yes.
And just, the sweetest ownership that you've ever met, right? This family is just so inspiring. And to see not only the current leadership team, but the parents come and just see what this business has turned into and see the support from the industry and how proud the industry is of what they've done. It tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. And it's just, it's a tremendous way to celebrate those in the moment, but also to harken back on all the hard work that, different organizations and different people have done to get us to this place. So it's a pretty special night.
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Do you have any plans around the kind of your 60th celebration, whether it's at the show or like throughout the year?
Do you think the team's going to let this one slide without an opportunity?
We tried.
The team loves a good party. The team loves a good party. We're actually going to utilize, in past shows we've used this thing called our member mixer, right? So just it's something for the members to get together, celebrate the year, celebrate all the work that we've done together. So that we're building off of that for our 60th anniversary. So there's a member mixer that's actually been moved over to the Pan Pacific to the grand ballroom over there.
Wonderful.
The theme of the event is a diamonds and denim theme. So bring your best Canadian tuxedo. So we got to start planning ahead for these things.
I already started to.
But no, they've got some special food, like a sustainable seafood bar, a creme brulee station.
Creme brulee.
A creme brulee station?
Yes. So you get your custom creme brulee.
Can't beat that.
And just a lot of really exciting elements to it. So no, the team's been really excited about this one. You only turn 60 once.
Right.
Yes.
So we'll build on this in Vancouver, and I think they've got some tricks up their sleeve for Toronto as well. So should be be a great night. Just come and celebrate what the association has done for 60 years. Yeah. And then we'll roll that over into the awards ceremony the following evening.
Awesome. Well, we'll be right there along with you. We're always excited to support CHFA. I mean, we've obviously been a part of that for years and years as well, and enjoyed kind of the benefits of the CHFA, but also your team. Your team is so lovely, and they're always so helpful. So it's been an absolute pleasure for us to be a part of that.
Very, when you talk about the industry being passionate, definitely, like your team, the team you created is so passionate, always smiling. And even if we know how a trade show is and organizing, and there's not everything, goes
they make
as
it look
planned,
easy.
right?
Yeah, they do make it look easy. It's ducks on a pond, though. Those legs are going quickly below the water. We get to have an influence over the health and wellness of Canadians on a daily basis. In one of the most special countries with one of the most inspiring communities. And if that doesn't get you out of bed in the morning with a smile on your face, then you're doing something wrong. And so I think that passion that you feel from the team is because we believe in what we do, and we think it plays an important role, and we're honored to be able to do that work. It's been a lot of fun.
I think that's why we align so well, right? I mean, obviously that's our goal too, right? Improving the lives of Canadians. So when you've got that alignment, it
gets us very
the hard work is worth it when that's the outcome. Right?
Well, you can
feel good about it.
Yeah, the challenges are not challenges because you're thinking about the greater goal. And I think you said it so well, even though there's competitors and competition between brands and distributor and all that, at the end of the day, we all have the same greater goal.
Yes.
And that speak also when you were talking about other channels that are coming to play the game as well, play with us. It's just a positive way to see that more Canadians want products, and we're making them available to wherever we shop.
Yeah, right? Look, we're not an industry that's got 100% saturation across the market.
No.
So there's a lot of opportunity to grow the pie.
Yeah.
Not only your slice of the pie.
Yeah.
And I'm always so inspired by organizations that will help each other because they realize that, look, if you do well, there's a rising tide lifts all boats sort of mentality to this, and we're just maybe not the bottom of the first inning of our sector, but maybe the second inning. Like there's a lot of runway ahead.
Yeah.
And if we work together, I think that we'll reach that goal of improving the lives of more Canadians rather than being competitive all the time with each other.
Yes.
And the channel expansion is an opportunity, not a threat. Right, I think there's an evolution to this.
Different personality, right? And
it is. I mean, I started this since 20 years ago now, and it felt very binary back then, right?
Yes.
It was you're a health food product or you're a conventional product.
Yes,
not anymore.
Either or.
I think we're all quite proud that 20 years later, it's a little more gray.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, health food products are kind of mainstream in some situations, and I think we all hope that at some point it's binary again, but the larger chunk is the wellness and the health-related products versus the conventional.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just opened up a tremendous amount of opportunities. I think retailers are seeing that. I mean, a lot of the research we've presented over the last few years has shown the opportunities for retailers to differentiate themselves by leaning into these categories, by partnering with the right brands. And so I think, with that shift in mentality from some of these retailers, the opportunity for more companies to be more successful is definitely ahead of us.
It's the beginning. Yeah, absolutely.
You want to take it into some rapid fire?
Yes, let's.
Ooh, my favorite part.
The easy part.
The easy part for the question asker.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
We're just going to ask the questions and then sit back.
Relax now.
So one of the questions we often ask our guests is, what was your first kind of natural health product that you loved?
Oh. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So a little bit of context and backstory. So my mom was actually the first bookkeeper for a small health food store called Supplements Plus, whose owner was Stuart Brown.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay.
Who went on to start Greens Plus. So I have memories as a kid of having bottles of Greens Plus capsules in my fridge. And if you remember what they were like when they first launched, I think you had to take like 14 or 20 of them at a time. So my first memory of something I identified as a health food product or a natural health product was probably Stuart's, I think it was EHN at the time was the name of the company. But their Greens Plus product that he developed with Sam Gracie.
Neat.
So a little bit of a throwback there. Yeah.
That's and starting with greens, it's starting.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, that's hardcore, definitely.
Yeah.
So you were right into it.
Well, I joke with Stuart because I was probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 running around his store as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I went on when I was at Loblaw and was the buyer buying genuine health products. He would sit in these meetings and go like, you're now my biggest customer.
Right.
And he used to be this 4-year-old kid running around the store. He's like, this is weird.
It's a mind shift. Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's interesting. If you were to pick a different career, because you've done so, the Loblaws, you had your own.
Had a few different variations. Yeah. Look, if there was no restrictions, I'd love. I have a passion for cycling. If I could live on and make a living on 2 wheels, that would be my dream.
Yeah.
I think genetics and physiology will not work for me. I don't think that's something I can chase. But
you can manifest. Keep
I
manifesting.
can. Yeah. And if I close my eyes on my trainer, it feels like I'm going faster.
You're on Tour de France.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So now
we'll see you on TV next time. Yeah.
Do you do a lot of cycling now yet?
I do. Yeah. It's look, I think life balance is important, and it's a place that I think you can get a lot of perspective. It's quite humbling in a lot of cases, and it's just something. I mean, I wish there was a few more mountains in Ontario, and a few less cold days. But no, cycling's been a passion for over a decade now, and it gets to you. It gets in your blood. I mean, we've got a few team members who are into it as well. Jules on our team was, I think, a professional at one point, so she did live the dream. She keeps challenging me to go for a ride, but I think I'm too scared.
So you do.
No, she's going to hear this now. She's going to know I'm scared.
She's
which is
going to
not
come
good.
Yeah, exactly. Do you long distance, or you do more like a triathlon kind of?
A little bit of both. Yeah. Okay. So Grand Fondos are a passion. I love getting on for hours at a time. Yeah. But I also got into duathlons a couple of years ago. Ooh. And haven't gone try yet. Open water swimming still. Yeah. It's not my jam personally.
Especially when everybody jump over you.
Yeah.
That's kind of the explanation
some things
I
there
got
that I haven't quite gotten comfortable yet.
Yeah.
But duathlons are great. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of competition. Yeah. My wife does them. My dad does them.
Does too. Cool.
And so it's a bit of a family affair, which is great.
Nice. Oh.
Do you have a daily non-negotiable? What's that one thing that you need or have to do, or?
Probably gonna say 2. So one of them being what we just talked about. Getting a sweat on every day is important. So I got to get the blood pressure up, not just because of work, but because you intend to. And so that's a non-negotiable for me. I'll squeeze that in if it's early, if it's late. We got to find time to do that.
Is that usually cycling for you, or is that usually something?
Running or cycling? Yeah. One of the two. Should probably do more weights than I do, but just some people love cardio or hate it. I'm on the love side of it. Yeah. And then the other one is more family oriented. So we've got 3 little kids.
Yeah. How old are they?
They're 6, 4, and 2.
Ooh, that's the busy.
We're in the deep end.
Yes.
We are in the deep end. But having dinner together every night.
Oh, nice.
Work is exciting. Work is, rewarding. But being able to make sure you got that point in the day where you all come together and talk about the day, it grounds you again on what's important. And so, that's another one that we've can be hard some days with travel, obviously, but whenever we can, that's the important one.
It's interesting how that impacts the kids too, right? You don't really realize, but being able for them to count on that and know that they have that all the time, it seems so simple. But then
I did it growing up.
Even things that they say, right? It's like, oh no, that's huge value there.
And in the moment, I probably didn't appreciate it until I got older.
Yeah.
And I look back and go, oh, that was so important. Yeah. And then I think doing that now with our kids, it's just they fight it sometimes. Like, I just want to sit in front of the TV. We're going to talk about your day.
Yeah. You're sitting here and talking to me.
I'll wait.
I saw you on TV, Dad. It's good.
Yeah, they still wonder what I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see you there. What's happening? Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for your time with us.
Well, thank you guys. It's been wonderful.
Great pleasure to have you and keep doing what you're doing, because obviously CHFA is helping a lot of people out there to be successful, and you're so passionate. We can see it. So for those who are listening, you need to watch it. You'll see how Erin is passionate about it, and I think that it translates into everything that you do. And so,
thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And thanks for what you guys are doing with this. I think it's nice to hear some of the conversations you wouldn't otherwise hear. So looking forward to hearing this one. I'm sure that the team will be poking and prodding at everything I said.
Oh, I hear diamonds somewhere.
Yeah,
and
diamonds are coming.
Some long distance of the Tour de France coming. So,
look, we got a meeting in Ottawa. Jules lives in Montreal, and she's already told me she's going to ride her bike to the next meeting.
Oh, there you go.
She's like, you should bring your bike. I'm like, terrified to ride with Jules. So we'll see. We'll see
work
what happens.
on that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. Okay, so let's get into some new to Purity Life. So you wanted to talk a little bit about oral health because we have a couple of new brands that are falling within that category.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a big category, and it's one category I would say that a lot of people are getting into natural as well, either deodorant or oral care.
Yeah.
And one of the big trend I would say out there is whitening.
Yes.
So it is pretty harsh for your teeth, what's out there as conventional.
And difficult to find something along the more natural lines for whitening, right?
Yes, and that work. And we did find a brand.
We've been sourcing.
So exactly. So we're very excited and we'll introduce you. I'm just going to start by showing for those who are watching the brand that is called Coca Smile. So they have strips. They have a gel, peroxide-free gel. And so this is great because peroxide really is harsh in your mouth, but that's what really helps your teeth to whiten.
Yes.
This one is purple. I don't know if you want to show
so
for those who are watching.
I'm going to squeeze some out here.
Yes.
So, and the idea behind the purple is that it's a color blocker for yellow. So what it does is it's whitening in a very different way, right? This purple is actually leaving a shade of that purple on the teeth, which is going to take take the yellow out.
And
so
makeup, I'm going to add something. On the wheel of color, you see purple that is opposite to the yellow, and that's why it helps to whiten the teeth. Like when you put purple hair, like shampoo in your hair, it's the same principle. Yeah. So for for those who can't see because you're listening, the tube is sort of a nice orangey peaches color, and Erin is showing right now the
squeezed it out, and it is very purple.
Yes, and
it's
don't worry,
kind of a purple gel.
It goes away. Your teeth won't stay. I tried, and my teeth are still the same white color. Very efficient, very mild as a taste. You won't feel, for those who have used the...
Oh, it's very minty.
Yeah, it's very minty. For those who have used the non-natural, conventional, I would say, or at your dentist, and you feel like almost irritated after the treatment, you won't get that. A must have on your shelf. Yeah, and the packaging is great because it explains what it is clearly, so you don't have to look for what it is. Yep. And the one that I really love, again, speaking about traveling or on the go, it's their stripes. I don't know if you've tried them, Erin.
Some of my team have, and they really liked them.
Yes.
They found that they stayed on very well, which they were having issues with more the conventional ones. They were like kind of sliding off.
Absolutely. That's what I found. Like I put it on and I was doing other things in the house, and then I was trying to get it off, and it's really there. Yeah. Like, don't worry, they will be removable, but it really sticks there, so nice. It works really well. Yeah. And it's small sachets, so you can put them in your purse.
So each sachet has the 2 strips in there, right?
Correct.
And then I think the box has 28, so 14 upper and 14 lower. So 2 weeks worth of strips in the box. So mint flavored. And then they say once you're done no issues with sensitivity with it. And then once you're done, just brush your teeth with like kind of the little remnants of what's left there. And
30 minutes. 30 minutes. So it's quite easy to get the natural whitening result. And honestly, it's a must-have on your shelf because online right now, a lot of people are looking for that product, and it's an easy solution. So let's give it a try.
Hard to find these natural.
Yes. To continue on the same wave of our oral health, we just listed a brand called Before. And again, I have a glimpse on the video so you can see the packaging. The colors are very pastel, so on trend with the packaging.
Well, and that was a big thing for the creator, right? Was that he really wanted something that was going to look nice in the bathroom. I mean, you really don't find that in toothpaste. They're usually very loud and... bright and colorful, but not necessarily something that you would love to leave on a nice, clean bathroom counter. Yes. But these ones are beautiful.
And they have 3 different flavor. And you have the super mint.
Yep. This is the classic super mint.
And there's another super mint, but more purifying. And they have 3 different, I would say, usage. You have the whitening one, which work really well. You have for sensitive teeth. And what is yours here, Erin? I think that you have the it's the classic. So your go-to daily. You don't want a whitening, or you don't have sensitive teeth. What I love about the products, I've used it for a couple of weeks now. It's very thick. And when you brush your teeth, you really feel that there's something that is happening.
Yeah.
And the mint flavor is not artificial. It's really nice. And it really leaves your mouth feeling fresh for a long time. So I really appreciate that. I haven't seen that on the market yet as a texture. So there's lots of toothpaste on the market, but this is, again, give it a try.
Well, I know one of the other things he was saying too was how important it was. So I'm just smelling it. Oh, it is very nice.
Oh, yes.
I haven't actually tried that one yet.
What you smell, you really feel it in your mouth. It's amazing. I love that.
So he was saying how important it was for him to kind of keep the microbiome in your mouth intact. Mm-hmm. So instead of a lot of the conventional toothpaste, which are really killing off all of that bacteria, good and bad, in your mouth, which can have all sorts of effects on.
Oh my God, your mouth is like that humidity. It's like the perfect ground for bacteria, right?
Yeah. But I think he was even saying so. We always talk about the largest organ is your gut with the good bacteria and all that. Well, your oral health is that kind of second step to that. So if you're going to kill off all of that bacteria in your mouth, you're losing things for immune, you're losing for things for digestion and whatnot. So this doesn't do this. They do that.
And just furthermore, for those who listen to Dr. Uberman podcast, he's going to have one soon coming and talking about the connection with your brain.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's a must listen as well. It's going to be very good. The other very neat product they have the tooth brush, and they also have their refillable floss. Mm-hmm. It's a little sort of wooden kind of container.
It's bamboo,
right? Exactly. And very easy. You can buy the refill when you travel as well too. Mm-hmm. Very convenient. So yes, it's
and then a staple. I mean, it's not necessarily new to Purity Life, but Pure Gum, which we know and love.
Yes,
sweetened with xylitol. Huge benefits there, obviously, in oral health as well, right? My kids love this one. This is the gum in our house. I was saying to one of my colleagues earlier, I think my kids didn't realize there was any gum other than Pure Gum until about a year ago.
That's
all they had. So
it's awesome. And what they have that is fun, they always come with different packaging, different flavor, and those ones are the jumbo gum.
Yes.
So you don't need to. I always take 2 gums because they're small.
You don't need to because these ones are big enough.
You don't.
Yeah.
So I suggest to the store to build that fun, because when we talk about oral health, it's not boring, but it's a must do.
Yeah.
Where you can turn it into a fun area, mixing, that whitening, the toothpaste, and also have the gums right there.
Yeah.
So this is very colorful, and then you'll create that environment that is also good for attention for kids, get them into the category to do what they should be doing, and bring into other customers that would not have thought because they use conventional.
Yeah.
So, so that's our
some
new
great
to
options.
Purity Life. Thank you for watching or listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe and send us your feedback at marketing@puritylife.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at Purity Life Products LP, and myself, JD_Girl Power.
And me at Erin G. Macklin.
And join us next week where we're going to be joined by Margot Thompson. She's a certified executive coach at Org Out, and she'll be discussing with us the working genius.
Yes.